All right, good afternoon, everyone. We've got a great session ahead of us. This is going to be a great session for educational purposes. You're going to get a lot of business ideas about how to do more business, how to gain more referrals, cultivate important relationships. And so for this one, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Lutron, who's David Weinstein is sitting right next to me. And from there, we're going to have, David, we'll start with you. You can introduce yourself and what you do for Lutron, and we'll go down the line from there.
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're enjoying CEDIA EXPO. My name is David Weinstein. I'm at Lutron. I'm responsible for really trying to develop our luxury residential business around our homeworks, our automated shades, and our emerging intelligent lighting solutions category.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be here. This is my first time being at CEDIA, and it's been incredible so far, meeting a lot of you and seeing all of the innovation and being with Lutron, who I absolutely love. I have an interior design firm out of Orange County, California, Newport Beach, and we work with a lot of different integrators, a lot of different partners, and we love collaborating. And I've been in the business for about 20-some years, extremely passionate and excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Glenn Johnson. My company is Adaptive Design Group. We are an architectural lighting design and engineering firm practicing 100% in the luxury home market nationwide. So we artistically illuminate homes. We do the control design and programming and electrical engineering. So it's a full service package. And we do quite a bit of work and team with David Weinstein and Lutron, and been here at CEDIA a couple times, and I really enjoy talking to this audience because you're my people. We need you.
David, let's start with you, because you guys just had your Lutron Excellence Awards banquet last night. I was actually fortunate enough to be a judge in the awards this year. I did not have this category as one of my judges, but the last couple of years, I've been told that the most popular category that you've had is for the projects where is the best collaboration with an interior designer, architect, or lighting designer. That's basically become the most popular category for integrators to submit their projects. So tell us, first of all, why you think that is, and why the awards, how the evolution of the awards have come to even include a category like that.
Sure. Thanks, Arlen. Well, you know, if you look historically, you have all the independent players taking care of the client, and historically they've kind of gone in parallel. So the luxury builder works with the client, the interior designer works with the client, the architects over here works with the client, the integrator works with the client, and more often lighting designers, and Glenn's going to talk about this, get involved with the client. What's evolving now and why that category is so important, when we can work together, the manufacturer, the interior designer, the lighting designer, the architect, the luxury builder, even the electrician who plays a role, and we get everybody working together and networking and understanding each of the roles, the end result is good communication, mutual respect for the value that each person on the, what Glenn calls the modern design team, delivers. And then when it goes from design to actually quoting on the project, you're getting a better design solution that is going to be properly priced for the value they're delivering. At the end of the day, the client gets a great experience, and all the stakeholders realize they can work together cooperatively with enough margin in these luxury projects that everybody can be paid fairly for the value they deliver.
Laura, in terms of relationships, tell us how you said you've been involved in the design aspect for 20 years. When did the relationship with integrators start to become more important? How did you connect with them, and what's that like today on your projects?
Well, I feel as though we need integrators, and working together has always worked a lot better than trying to not work together, which is something, to be honest, I don't totally understand why we wouldn't work as a team. because on every project, it is all about the team. I mean, in the end, I'm not a cabinet maker. I'm not a lighting designer. I am not installing your tile. What I am doing is trying to create for every client a way for them to live their best life. And that means how you work, live, and play. It's a huge honor to get to help people live a better life. As a designer, I believe that a lot of us, we are talking to our clients about, really cool products, talking to them about shades, palladium shades, which happen to be one of my favorite products, right, from Lutron for shade control. But when we bring in the right partners, we are getting something that's more unique, something sometimes it's different, and you guys are really helping us also sell the project, right? When we get everyone together, and then obviously working with a lighting designer like Glenn, it brings the project to a different level, because as much as I know about lighting design and going to school, learning about it, seeing it on projects, there's something about bringing a lighting designer on who actually knows top of the line, what's new, knows how to do all of the calculations. There's actually so much to it. And we need our partners. And if we're not working together, then the project is not going to be the project that it could be if we were working as a team.
Thank you for that segue into Glenn. Glenn, we'll go to your niche of the design community. Why should integrators go that extra step and hire a lighting designer beyond, interior design and the builder or electrician?
Thanks, Arlen, for that question. I'd like to step back just a little bit. David mentioned about a term that I've coined called the modern design team. And this is really important because the modern design team, everybody's agreed you need an architect and interior designer on any luxury home. Architect and interior designer are critical. Laura is critical to be part of that team. But what needs to be added to that is what I call the technical team, and that's the architectural lighting designer and the systems integrator, the CI channel. That's the team. And today's homes, it cannot be done any other way. In order to have success, this has to happen. To this technology, everything that we are providing on the tech team side with the interior designer and architect has to be presented properly, educating the client face to face, and letting the client say, no, I don't want to go to that level, or yes, I love what Ketra has to offer. And so that education process really has to happen. And most importantly, the only way to have fun in our business today is to have that team.
Glenn, tell us a little bit about, you were talking about from the educational standpoint of part of why integrators should hire a lighting design pro. What about from the technical standpoint? And also, I think as you might have just started alluding to, from a cost standpoint, the amount of potential profit on a project going from your standard production quality lights to something like what we're seeing from Lutron and other companies in the industry.
A good example of that, Arlen, thank you for the question, is a project that we just completed with the systems integrator in Lake Tahoe. We had worked for about 1.5 years with the owners, with the architect and the interior designer. The architect recommended us. We worked with them for about 1.5 years, well before the plans were ever delivered to the builder and the subcontractor team. That's how it should be. So in any event, this Lake Tahoe house, so we finished the project, turned the plans over to the builder. The builder brought his integrator to the table, and the integrator said, I have never seen anything like this, the level of the professional documentation that we provide. We're like architects with lighting control, electrical engineering. It's a full set of package that goes out to bid. They bid the project. This gentleman called me up and said, I've never seen anything like this. and you just delivered me a $800,000 lighting package, including shades and everything that we designed and engineered in. He said, I'm going to recommend you on every job because I didn't do anything. We are creating the environments along with the architect and interior designer, and to beautify these environments with hidden lighting sources and all this artistic ability and never distracting from. So that's just a real good story on how easy it is when you have a lighting professional who can educate the owners on what's the latest and greatest, let the owners decide on what's best for them and their budgets, and then we have fun.
Our job is to understand what the products are and then educate clients on how to use them in the best ways. And sometimes that's working with our partners and going, hey, what's the new thing? Or how am I gonna solve this solution? I have a really weird window. It's a really strange shape. And I have no idea how I'm gonna cover it. Well, there's solutions. And if you don't have an answer, there's partners out there who are going to help you to figure that out. And that's why we have to work together, because you don't know what you don't know. So we sometimes have to reach out to partners and reach out to David, reach out to Glenn and say, hey, I have this issue and how can we better solve it? Because I'm not gonna have every answer out there, but there's going to be people out there like you who will. So with the integrators and working with you guys, we're able to give our clients such a better way to live. And a lot of this, we need to keep educating each other. A lot of this I didn't know, maybe it didn't even exist, I don't know, 20 years ago. It's all continued getting better and better and better, and you don't want to be left behind. I don't want to be left behind. I want to be forward, and I want to work with the best people out there who are going to work as a team with us to give our clients the best experience.
Glenn, piggybacking on that, when you're talking to clients about sort of what we call like a layered lighting approach that we hear from a lot of designers, and you're talking about different various banks of types of lighting in a certain room, how are you able to work with an integrator to make sure that the controls are really simplified and that what you want to do with your sophisticated designs translates still to a very simplified user experience?
Well, first and foremost is educating the client on the user interface and the simplicity of the keypad control. It has to be very simple for grandma and the kids, and if you have to give an owner a manual when you leave the house on how to operate a touchscreen or a keypad, that's a problem. But most importantly, there's multiple layers of light in a home, and what I call the adaptive method revolves around 8 layers of light. And when a client understands that and sees that in a presentation and sees the house come together in a Zoom meeting, they understand for the first time ever the need for integrated dimming control. Because if you have a great room and you've got 8 layers of light, you don't want 8 keypads on the wall or toggle switches. You want a single keypad with a button press that's on, accent, next room over, raise lower. So make it real simple. And when you go through that process, and we go through that with integrators in a Zoom meeting with a client and an architect, I've never had an owner say, no, I don't want that. Just give me 4 cans and a fan and toggle switches everywhere. It's like, how come I didn't know about this sooner? I mean, the house is framed up, I've got a roof and windows on, I've got my subcontractors standing there right now, ready to install, and nobody said, we need a lighting designer, we need a systems integrator. I had an owner doing a presentation recently, and we were going through everything and all the technology, and he raised his hand, he said, Glenn, I've got one question for you. And this is really important for everybody in the room here in this industry. He said, and the architect was right there too, he said, what's an integrator? What's an integrator? Now they know audio, video, they know home theater, but they have a very sophisticated client too. What is an integrator? So we've got a fix the language somehow, but let's get that conversation going early up front with the design teams, and we can pull all this together. And again, I've never had an owner say, no, I don't want that.
In the control side of everything they do here, you have to have aesthetics, cognition, and ergonomics. Think about that. That's something your client, by the way, and the design team understand. They don't want to know so much the voltage and the diameter in the installation, the rough-in. They may want to know that to put on the plans, but they want to know the conceptual, emotional reasons why people should use the product.
Yes, and that's a perfect point to finish up on. I think we covered a lot of ground today. Hopefully everyone learned a little bit of something coming to this session. And with that, we'd like to thank you all again for coming here. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Lutron.
Thank you.
David, Laura, and Glenn. Really appreciate it.